Bonjour, et comment allez-vous? Très bien. That's nice to know that you're doing well. Well, from my side, if you said et vous, je vais bien aussi. Je vais très bien, in fact. And bienvenue dans la classe. Welcome to this class. Aujourd'hui, today, we are going to learn pronom personnel. Okay. So, for this class, I would need you to keep your notebooks open to the grammar section. I would also need you to keep your pen in hand just in case to take notes or make notes, and in case you have any questions or queries or any kind of difficulties, please make notes of these and you can ask me at the end of this class. Now, besides all this, we will be, just to give you a brief about what we are doing today, is we will be touching upon the 5 different types of pronoms. Okay, so this class is going to be pretty long, maybe in parts, but yeah, pretty long. So I'll need you to sit with whatever material that you need in hand, get ready for the class. You can pause the video this moment, go get what you need, and we shall start the class. All right, if you're back, I'll need you to do one thing before we start the class. Let us all close our eyes at this moment, and I want you to bring your mind to a state of rest from all the busy things that we've been doing throughout the day. All the hustle, all the bustle around, all the running around, all the tensions and worries of homeworks and college work and a lot of these things and many other things that we do throughout the day. I want you to imagine at this moment how the class is going to go through, what you're going to learn. Maybe you might have a clue of it or not. And I want you at this moment to picture out what you're going to learn. Yes, you might not know what, but just do it. Do it anyways. Alright? And now I want you to thank God for answering your prayer to study this, whatever is going to be taught in this class. Okay, and also this moment, let us pray for all those who are suffering from these from the coronavirus and who are affected by it. And yeah, let us pray for these people. So as you finish praying, I need you to open your eyes now and let's start with the class. All right, so today we're learning pronom personnel. Okay, now, what are personal pronouns? Personal pronouns are, see, this is not like this class. In this class, you will be learning types of pronouns, and you have 5 types of pronouns in French. Okay, unlike in English, you have your common nouns, proper nouns, abstract nouns, and yeah, and these sort of nouns you have. And I know I missed one. But in French you don't have it the same way. Okay, in French you have personal pronouns, you have emphatic emphasis, pronoun of emphasis, you have your pronouns of relation, that is relative pronoun or pronoun relative, and you have a pronoun demonstrative. Okay, that is your pronouns of that state this and that. Okay, so that word this and that, and you have your pronoun of possession or possessive pronoun. Okay, so 5 types of pronouns in French, and which we will be going through in this session. Okay, so now for this moment you will need to pay attention, because we'll be doing a small exercise at this moment. Please look carefully at the screen. If there is anything you do not understand, please ask. Okay, la mère de mes amis, the mother of my friends. Please look at the assigned grammar, the assigned pronoun over there. Okay, I've enlarged it for you. La mère de mes amis, the mother of my friends, okay, is she. Now, why are we saying L? Why are we saying L there? Why do we not say ILS, ill? Because there is friends, then there is mother also, right? So which one do we choose? Both are nouns. Okay, you need to ask the question over here, what are we or whom are we talking about? Okay, are we talking about the mother or the friends? The mother of the friends. Okay, the line states the mother of the friends. Okay, so when you say of the friends, we're not talking about of the friends, we're talking about the mother. Okay, therefore mother is replaced with L, which means she. Okay, the next one, Pierre est sa femme. Peter and his wife. Now, please remember, there's a reason why this has been given here, because one is a masculine noun and the other one is a feminine noun. And as you already know, when you have masculine and feminine nouns underlined, we generally take the masculine, or we support, we tend towards the masculine side. Okay, so therefore you have ILS, ill. Clear? Next one, Ankita and Bianca. Now, what do you do when you have both feminine pronouns? Of course, it's clear, very, very clear. It is ELLES, L. Okay, ELLES, L. Then, Le petit garçon et sa sœur. Okay, the small boy and his sister. Now, what do we do when you have a little boy and an elder sister? Okay, in a sentence. Of course, in French grammar, you do not change things as per uh, age. Okay, age never changes. I mean, age never determines any sort of grammar, except for if it's mademoiselle and madame for a woman, the way you address a woman. But apart from that, if there's a small little boy and you're asking what should we do, what if there's a male and a female in a particular question of grammar, and you want to know whether, because the woman in the sentence in that underlined word is an older woman, so is it that we change it to ELLES? No, that's not correct. Even if the boy, there's a even if the boy in the sentence or the masculine person in the sentence is younger than the feminine person, it will still favor the masculine person. Okay, so therefore we will have ILS. Is that clear? All right. Le frère de mon ami. Le frère de mon ami. The brother of my friends. The brother of my friends. Now, how many friends are we talking about? Okay, by the way, there's a slight mistake over there. I'll just change that for you. Le frère de mon ami. Okay, let's take this as just one friend, mon ami. Okay, so when you say mon ami, okay, so when you say mon ami, le frère de mon ami, okay, you're saying, are we talking about the, I want to ask you a question, are we talking about the friend or the brother? Okay, if you said the brother of my friend, then you're right, we're talking about the brother, not the friend. Okay, because we're talking about the brother of my friend, le frère de mon ami. Is that clear? I don't want you to get confused at any time. Okay, don't try and base your answers based on the, like what is before the, what is after the and all. Don't do that. I know some teachers teach you that, some French teachers or some teachers around do teach you that, like, see what is before the, see what is after the. There's nothing as such like that, because you need to understand the meaning of the sentence, and that will help you understand things better. And this is for most of the grammar. Please don't go by rules that state that not every time, but in some cases, that there are rules that state that you have to look what is after this, what is after that. No, of course, there are questions that some people make you ask, like who is doing the action in the sentence, or who is this and who is that. These are important things, because these, when you ask such questions, you understand the sentence better. These are important things that we need to learn and keep in mind. Okay, so therefore, as we move on with this lesson, please pay attention, please remember, le frère de mon ami, we are talking about the brother in this sentence. Okay, so we are talking about le frère de mon ami. Okay, le frère de mon ami. Clear? The next one, la femme. La femme, the woman. Please make a note of this. La femme. You can do one thing. As I'm reading these out to you, you can write it down as well in a grammar section. Please write the meanings in English next to it. Okay. And when you write L, please write she. I know you know it. Wherever you have written IL, ILS, IL, ELLE, I know you know it. But please write the meaning next to it. Okay. So please write every meaning, even the ones that you know, just so that the sentence makes sense. Okay, or everything makes sense over there. Then the next one, le médecin. Le médecin, what is that? It's simply ill. Okay, that's very clear, it's very obvious. It's le médecin is ill. Then now client, our clients. Now when we say our clients, why don't we say nous? Why don't we say nous? Okay, we do not say no because we have not bought the clients, or the clients don't belong to us. It's just our clients. They might today they might be our client, tomorrow they might not be our clients. Okay, so only for no client, please remember it is ils ill. But if they were our children, nos enfants, then it would be us, nous. Okay, please take note of these things. No client is ill, ils, our clients. Okay, because you not paid them and we've not bought them. Okay, they don't belong to us. They're not part of my family or part of my workspace or part of my environment or something. They don't belong to me. Okay, so yeah, they're not part of my blood relative cousins or something. Okay, relations basically. So therefore no client, please remember, is going to be ils, whereas members of my family, my blood relations, or as they say, uh, consanguinal relations, are not supposed to be are not ils, they're supposed to be new. Okay, please remember that. Also, members of your group, in group and out group, as you must be learning, as you learn in psychology, you will understand in group and out group. In group and out group is I'll explain to you, is basically people that belong to your kind of thing. Like for example, if you're a person who likes to play music, okay, a particular genre of music, you will group all your kind of people who like that genre of music as your type of people. When you do a your type of people thing, you are creating an in group out group method, in group out group phenomenon, which is uh, which depends. I mean, it's just a phenomenon. So how you do it, whether it's in a good sense or bad sense, it's up to you. But that's just an in group out group thing. That's just to explain to you, okay, things. Yeah, psychology classes aside, well, back to French. No client therefore is, but by the way, you need a lot of this background information here in this class, because this will help you to understand what we are talking about in a better way. Okay, so yes, it's very important. So no client means ils, ill. Okay, ils, ill. Therefore the next one is moi et ma famille. Moi et ma famille, and this is what I keep talking about in the class. Please pay attention to these kind of things. Okay, or even in ma famille et moi, if you get ma famille et moi, or if you get mes amis et moi, if you get mes amis et moi, allons au cinéma. Okay, my friends and us and me, we are going to the cinema. My friends and me, we are a group. Okay, so therefore it becomes us, we are going to the cinema. Okay, so therefore nous allons, okay, au cinema. Similarly, if you have my class and myself, okay, or the students, my students and myself, okay, so therefore I would include myself with the students, since they are one class with me. Therefore it becomes nous. Okay, please remember, as I explained to you earlier, in group out group, member, the moment something becomes a part of your group, please remember it takes new. Okay, that's it. So let's make a small correction here. You et tes copains, you and your friends, okay, your companions. What does that become? As you can see on the screen, it is vous itself. Okay, so don't worry, it is just vous by itself. The next, now you will get into direct object me te le la nous vous les. Okay, direct object me te le la nous vous les. Now what is the meaning of these? And the meanings are very important. Okay. So I'll quickly type that there right away for your sake. Me, you, he, she. 1 minute, put a dash. She, da, we, or us, y'all, and they. Clear? This is the meaning. Okay. So me, you, he, she, we, us, y'all, they. Okay, is that clear? Done. So with this, you know the meaning of me te le la nous vous les. Okay, then you have, now this is, let me introduce you to something called as direct object. This is your direct object, what I've underlined here. Okay, this is your direct object, and let's make it bold. Okay, and as you come lower down, we have something called as the indirect object, and that is here. Okay, it's already bolded. as you, if you like, if you like it that way. Okay. Anyways, me, te, le, la, nous, vous, les. Hmm? Is your direct object. Now you have a few clauses to remember about using, about when and how to use the direct object. So therefore let's go through that part. Okay. Passé composé. Now for passé composé, plus auxiliary conjugated with avoir. Okay, so all those your passé composé verbs and those auxiliaries conjugated with avoir, the past participle agrees in gender and number. Now what is that auxiliary conjugated with avoir? There is a rule. Okay, I know you didn't learn this second part, auxiliary conjugated with avoir. You have not been taught, and it's not there for 9th and 10th standard level. But for 11th and 12th, in 11th, it's not taught. In the 12th, you have a rule which will be introduced to you somewhere in the somewhere in the close to second term. I think it's in the second term syllabus, which states that for direct object, I'll explain to you what I mean. For direct object pronouns, okay, I'll just open a rule 1 minute, okay, and read it out for you directly. Okay, so the rule states that I'll read out the rule for you. Okay, le participe passé s'accorde avec le complément direct quand ce complément direct est placé avant le verbe. Okay, so this is your given verb, given rule. Wait, I'll read the rule for the avoir properly. One minute, okay? That is the one that I read is not the one. I'll read it out properly, the whole line. Quand on utilise l'auxiliaire avoir, when one utilizes the auxiliary avoir, that is the verb avoir. Now you know when you do your passé composé, you need avoir or être, right? And we have learned so far to do the to do the agreement, that is what we call as the what we call as the s'accorde. Okay, the s'accorde au sujet, that is the agreement. Okay, we have learned to do the agreement only with être verbs, only with those past participles which take être. That is your what we have in the Goa board have learned as adverb verbs. Okay, so when we say we use we do the agreement for avoir in your French textbook for the second term of your French, which I'm teaching you now actually, so you start using it right away. uh, you have avoir which takes, you have certain not certain, you have cases of direct object which takes avoir, and I'll read that rule out for you properly. Okay, listen carefully. Quand on utilise l'auxiliaire avoir, le participe passé ne s'accorde pas avec le sujet. So when the rule states, this is the pre-rule. Okay, first what I read earlier was the actual rule, but this is the pre-statement to that. Okay, so um, what it states, that is, when one utilizes the avoir for as an auxiliary for passé composé, one does not utilize or have an agreement ne s'accorde pas avec le sujet. Okay, it says ne s'accorde pas avec le sujet. Okay, so when you say ne s'accorde pas means there is no agreement. Okay, mais, but, okay, for those of you who are in the 12th, I mean for those who are following the 12th, and if you are following me on this note, please turn to page number 24 of your textbook and you will find it there. Okay, what I'm reading. You can pause the video now, turn to your textbook and get back soon. Okay, so for you who are listening to me, the rule states mais le participe passé s'accorde avec le complément, but the past participle agrees with the complement, that is with the direct object quand ce complément direct est placé avant le verbe, sorry, avant le verbe. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, so it says that yes, there is an agreement, okay, only when the direct pronoun is placed before the verb. Okay, what are we talking about here? I'll read that out to you. La femme avant, yeah, la femme a appelé les enfants. The sentence given here is la femme a appelé les enfants. Okay, in fact, why are we looking into that textbook which you cannot see on the screen? What I'll do is I'll take an example from the screen itself. Okay, so please look carefully at the screen. Okay, please look carefully at the screen. Now, what does this rule, the second part, see, look at passé composé. I'm talking about this. Okay, I'm talking about passé composé, this rule. Please look at this rule carefully. For this rule, you know that when we use être for passé composé, you know that we already put an agreement for feminine, for plural, for the feminine plural, for the normal plurals also. Okay, so we already know that, right? Now what we need to learn in this particular class is that the auxiliary conjugate with avoir, wherein there is a direct object straight after. Okay, sorry, avant it says, when there's a direct object exactly before the verb, that one is the one where you will be putting these those passive composers down with avoir, is where you'll be employing the agreement. Does that make sense? Okay, don't worry if it doesn't make sense, if there's still some confusion, we will understand it now. Please look at this statement here. Okay, please look at the statement. Please follow me on this one. Yeah, sometimes you happen to have glitches and things run out of your fingers, so here we're back. Okay, so please look at this sentence with me carefully. Okay, uh, il a acheté la chemise. Okay, la chemise, look at this carefully. Il a acheté. Okay, il could be even a name. They could have given a name of a person like Piero or Philippe or Sandra. A acheté la chemise, has bought a pant. Okay, this so and so person has bought a pant. Now because la chemise is underlined, and that is what we want to be replacing, and it is feminine. Therefore now this pronoun which is direct, which is the direct object, is feminine. Therefore that's why we are putting a e there. Okay, do you get the point? Similarly, I'll give you one more example. Mes amis on téléphoné. Okay, my friends have called. 1 minute. I think this is not a good example. Take this one. La femme a appelé les enfants. This is taken straight from the 12th standard textbook. La femme les a appelés. What happens here is when I say la femme a appelé les enfants, the woman has called the children. When I say I want to replace the children. Okay, so the children will become has called them. As you see on top there, right on the top, le la le. I mean nous vous les, right? Le is them or they or them. So when I say the woman has called them, I would say la femme les a appelés. Okay, now yeah, I'll get to the part of placement. Okay, I'll get to the part of placement later. Next rule, before infinitive or two worded sentences, and let's see it this way only. Yeah, before infinitive or two worded sentences, place the direct object. Okay, place the direct object pronoun, the direct object pronoun, before the infinitive verb. This you already know. I think most of you already know this, but for those who are freshers, beginners, please remember, when you have two verbs like this. Okay, see this: il va acheter la chemise, he is going to buy the pant. Il va l'acheter. Okay, il va l'acheter. Now you might say that this is futur proche, and because aller is being used, and so le should come before va and all that stuff. Okay, but that rule is applicable only for what is that, for passé récent, futur proche, and passé composé. That is any of these tenses. Remember, only verbs that you use tenses for. It is better to use it's better to place the pronoun before the first verb. That is there, you have two verbs, right, in those sentences, your passé composé, futur proche, and passé récent. There you have to use a pronoun before the first verb. But in the case of futur proche, you have to see the you have to see the statement in the sense of whether it's the present or it's the future. Of course, you might say because going to is there, so it's the future, but not necessary always. Sometimes the person is in the process of buying. Okay, so in these cases you can use it could come after alir. Hmm? Il va la acheter. But whereas in the other sentence, il ne va pas acheter la chemise, he doesn't want to buy. Ne va pas. He's not going to buy the pant. Il ne va pas l'acheter. Okay, here this is an example of negative, of how do you use negation when you have two verb sentences. Okay, so il ne va pas l'acheter. Okay, see how again once again the pronoun has come before acheter, not before va. Okay, so in this way you will know that we have how we have to place the pronoun. Now please remember that when you're doing personal pronouns, you have to place the pronouns before the verb. Okay, this is the only topic in grammar, in French grammar, of any of the pronouns. This is the only topic in French grammar that places the pronoun before the verb. All other topics in French grammar places the pronoun in its required place, that is a designated place, like which is marked with a blank or something. Okay, but this is the only case in personal pronouns that you place the personal pronouns before the blank, before the verb. Okay, so that being said, we have a certain rule that we follow. Okay, remember that all personal pronouns are placed in the IDYEN format. That is first the DIYEN. Did I say IY? No, it's DIYEN format. That is first the direct object, then the indirect object, and then the Y, and then the EN. Okay, so please remember this. Okay, then after this, the next thing you got to remember is your for imperative affirmative sentences. Okay, please remember, what are imperative sentences? What are imperative sentences? Okay, imperative sentences for that matter are nothing but, yeah, imperative sentences are nothing but your command and order, as you learned already. I mean, if the 8th, 9th, 10th standard you'll have already learned. Right from the 8th standard you learn this. Imperative sentences are command and orders. What happens when you do a command and an order? What usually happens is verb, you knock off the tu nu vu form and you directly start the sentence with the verb. Like for example, achète la chemise. Achète la chemise means buy the pant. Okay, or donne les livres, give the books. Okay, give the books. Now in these cases, both are commands and orders. Okay, so commands or orders. So in these cases, when you have commands or orders, what you do is you will have to change a small mistake here. These mistakes can be noticed only after reading second, third, fourth, fifth time, and many more times. So let's just change the word. Okay, you got it. Please remember that when you do imperative, okay, and if you're doing the er form of the imperative, please remember to knock off the s from there. Okay, so it will be just achète la. Okay, achète la. Now achète la chemise will change to achète la. Now what does this sentence state? For imperative or affirmative sentences, place the pronoun after the verb with a hyphen. Now these are the only times when you'll be placing the verb after the pronoun after the verb. Place the pronouns, okay, after the verb with a hyphen. So this is the only case when you have imperative affirmative sentences. And there is one more case. No. Okay, so this is the only case where you will be placing the pronoun after the verb. Okay, therefore it will be achète la chemise will be achète la. Donne les livres will become donne les. Please don't forget to put a hyphen. Okay, just the way it's given there. Now, if both appear in the sentence, they say, what if you have first direct object, you have direct object and indirect object, and you have, your y and en also. So, if these both appear, then if both the sentences appear, I mean, if both the this thing both appear in the sentence, that is your direct and indirect object pronoun, what you have to do is first always remember first direct object and then indirect object. So just the way it's written there, la la le, then lui ler. Okay, so that is how you write the pronoun and you place it in the right place, that is either before or after the verb based on the sentence. Okay, then what do you mean by mirth changes to mua and tua? Now there are certain reflexive pronouns in this. Okay, like mua, tua, sua. Okay, nuvu, lur or something. Yeah, lur, nuvu, lur. So what happens in these cases? Okay, what if suppose you have like for example nama palpa. So nama palpa will be palmua, or na palpa, na nama palpa is what is given to you, will change to palmua. What I mean by that is, of course you're not changing the negation, you're just changing the sentence from na ma pal pa. Now see what is happening here. Please remember the rule states change ma and the to mua and tua. Okay, so what do they mean by this? Do not speak to me is uh, will change to pal mua. Speak to me. Okay, so what does it mean? You might say that the meaning of the sentence is changing. mm, I mean, I'll just check on this. You know what, the sentence is better said if we have it as see, this rule is about the negation. You might ask, actually this example should have gone up here. Yeah, it should have gone in that affirmative, imperative affirmative. By the way, what's the meaning of affirmative? Affirmative are all those imperative positive sentences. Okay, positive, when I say positive means there is no negation in it. Okay, so it's just like the normal sentence. All your normal sentences are affirmative sentences. The moment you put negation, it becomes negative. Okay, so affirmative is the opposite of negative. Clear? Done. So coming back to this dilemma about this nama, palpa and palmoa, it's it is see, basically don't focus on the na and pa, just forget about the na and pa. Understand that if at all you get a sentence which states the ma pal, okay, ma yeah, ma or even the third person, okay, or the nu vu. Okay, the nu vu is not really important, but the ma and the the is very important. Okay, so please focus on this part. According to this rule, the na and the ma which is placed before the verb gets placed after the verb for these kind of sentences, for ma and the sentences. Okay, that is for negation. Okay, so please take note of this. Palmua, verb hyphen pronoun. Okay, now in case of wasi and wala, what happens? Now wasi means, please write the meaning. Wasi means here you go, and voila means there you go. Okay, and I'm sure we must have used this in our sentences here and there. You already know the meaning of voici and voila. So therefore voici la fille, that is here is your daughter. Voila l'addition, here there is your bill. So that brings us to the end of the four simple rules that we learned. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and there was one with the passing composite, right? 5, 6. 6 rules. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the 6 rules. Let's quickly revise all the 6 rules. The first rule states about passé composé and about putting an agreement to the direct if the direct object is involved in the sentence. So yeah, if the direct object is placed avant le verb, that is exactly before the verb, then therefore the this thing will take agreement of the pronoun that it replaces. Okay, please remember the verb, the past participle will take a pronoun, take a agreement of the pronoun it replaces. Okay, please remember this. Then the next thing is passé composé is the first thing we learn. Then we learn infinitive, okay, of certain sentences wherein the pronoun gets placed yeah, based on the given direct object, okay, that is placed after the verb. Then after that you have imperative affirmative. Okay, so what do you do in case of the third rule is imperative affirmative, that is all imperative sentences which are positive in nature will change to ashet la dono le, like that. Okay, then what do you do if both appear, if both direct and indirect appear? First, always remember, first is direct object, then is the indirect object. Okay, pronoun. Then what if there is ma or th? Always remember that in pronouns, personal pronouns, the ma and the th changes to mua and tua. Okay, and the last rule is about wasi and wala. Please remember that in case of wasi and wala, sorry about that. In case of wasi and wala, whatever be the pronoun, that pronoun has to be, you have to assign a personal pronoun to it, and place that pronoun before wasi and wala. So therefore it will be la wasi or la wala, whichever one. Okay, la wasi or la wala. Okay, so the next one you have indirect object Mertha Louis Nouveau Leur. Okay, please remember this same rules. Okay, so it's just that this is to him, to her. Okay, now don't worry, you'll understand this as we start to solve more exercises. Now in this sentence, this is only used to replace people. Please remember, indirect object is only used to replace people, and the meanings are a, that is a graph, o, okay, ala, and aux. Okay, then y is used for places. Please remember. Now you might say the clues given in for y and for indirect object me, the, lui, nouveau, leur are the same. See the clues there: a, graph, o, ala, o. What is the difference? It states there indirect objects are only used for personal pronouns. Sorry, for people. Okay, whereas y is used for places. So when you go to the place, you use a, o, ala, o. Okay, whereas if you use whereas if you're talking about people, okay, going to the person or to the person's house, then and o, ala, o is underlined, that is au or ala or aux is underlined. Please note that we use, when it's used for people, it takes the indirect object. Okay, then uh what about en is used for things, it means some of it. Okay, okay, so the clues to watch out for en are unede, that is the, du, the, la, and de. So it's un, un, de, du, de, la, de. Okay, done. So with this we come to an end of the topic on personal pronouns. I shall do the topic of on demonstrative adjective in the next video. Okay, which will go probably as a part 2. Just hang on a moment. Okay.